Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is NURUL Fatin ISMAHANI binti AHMAD IDRIS. My matric number is 221302403. We choose Zabbix as our network monitoring tool as to show how we implement the integration of the features and function of network management, which is FCAPS function. We use VMware as our server to monitor the network, so I'll power on this virtual machine. We can say that this device is an agent for this networking system. We use Zabbix because Zabbix is an open source monitoring software. It's a powerful, versatile solution for monitoring our entire IT infrastructure, applications, services, and resources. We can think of it as our one-stop shop for keeping an eye on our network's health, performance, and security. Alright, first we run the VMware server to get the IP address for the Zabbix monitoring tools. For the appliance login is a root and we can enter the password. Okay, so we find the IP address for this server. And this is the IP address, which is this line 192.168.144.173. So I will use that IP address into the browser. Okay, this is the dashboard for Zabbix appliance, or we can say Zabbix monitoring tools. Okay, first we need to create a host and configure the host name to start our monitoring of the network. First we go to monitoring and host, and here we can see this device already available in this monitoring tools. So we need to create a new one. For host name, we can just put any name, like I put Raja here. And for templates, we need to choose for the Windows Zabbix agent. And the host group, I choose Windows and Zabbix servers. This is not default, so we can choose anything. For the interface, I add agent, and for the IP address, I put the IP address of the device that I want. Like for this one, I need to put the Raja IP address, which is 192.168.144.56. Okay. Then, for the other part, like this one, IPMI, text, macros, inventory encryption, and value mapping, we use the default, we do setting defaults. Then we click add. The host that we create just now will appear here, and we wait for the availability to know the status of this device. And also we know that the status is enabled, so we can see it's either error or it's running, or we can just try to refresh. Okay, here the availability is running, and we can try to configure the other host, the other device, just like before. We define the important things like hostname, templates, host group, and interface. And for this, I choose this. And for the template, it's the same like before, which is window by Zabbix agents. And the host group, we can choose any host that available here, and I choose Windows and Zabbix server. Alright, for the interface, I add agent and put the address. Okay, here. Then we add the phone realme. Just like before, we need to wait for the availability as the status is enabled, or we can just refresh it and wait. Okay, red means it's error. So the error get value from agent fail, cannot establish TCP connection to 129.168.144.174 at port 10050. That means it's typically occurs due to several common issues where Zabbix agent might not be running on that device that prevent the Zabbix from retrieving the data. Alright. Network connectivity issues can also be caused, such as the device and the Zabbix server not being on the same network, or firewalls blocking the communication on the default, or firewalls blocking the communication on the default port, which is 10050. Okay, the only solution for this is the agent must be running to all the devices that connected to monitor their network. Alright. Okay, we can see that all devices that connected have the problems. We have a severity for the problems. Okay, like we pick Raja device. Okay, the severity all here is average, which means it's a moderate issues that should be addressed. For example, the first one is the device management wireless application protocol push message routing service is not running. It's like the startup type automatic delay. This is the what's problem that device encounter. And for this one, we can, for the phone Realme, we don't have any data because encounter the error, so that's why it don't have any data. Okay, for the FATIN device, it's the same, it's almost same with the Raja device, which is the severity is average, and the problem is more to Google updated service. Alright. To implement accounting management in the software, first we need to setting up hosts and items. For each host, items will be created. For example, I pick Raja's device. Item for each host will be created based on the track specific matrix. Then after we done to create the item on this, we need to add the item to save. After we create the item, we need to create the triggers here. It's for usage monitoring to help in identifying when resource usage exceeds defined threshold. After we done create trigger on this part here, we can add the button. Click the add button to add the new trigger. After done, we need to create the graph. We need to create the graph and host. It means that we create the graph at the host Raja. We create the graph to visualize resource usage over time to identify trends and anomalies. Then we can save the graph by click the add button. We can create a screen to add a different widgets like graph and maps on the dashboard. So after we done with all of that, we can generate the reports on the resource usage by using the collected data, and it should appear on the schedule reports or availability reports. But then after we done to create a report, we need to set up the user group and users. Set up the user groups here, and this and user. I cannot show you this accounting management part as I have already tried, but turns out it's not supported. So I cannot show you how it works. For this, you can see Raja device is already get an error as the agent is not running there, just like phone realme. This also can happen when that device is not on the same network as these monitoring tools. Okay.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Raja Nur Nafisah SAIDAH binti Raja KAMARUDIN. My matric number is 221302405. So for my part is to monitor the performance for a device that we have captured. For here there is a three device. So for example, we go to check the performance for FATIN device. So we can click at graph here. So then it will show a lot of things that we can monitor. For example, CPU jump, CPU usage, CPU utilization, memory utilization, swap usage, and that is for the FATIN device that we can see. I will explain one by one for what is the performance is due. So for the first thing, FATIN Windows for CPU jumps. This is we have a green line. Green line here is refer to the context switch per second. This this metric shows the number of time per second the CPU switch from one process or thread to another. So if a high value can from like this, a high value it indicate a high multitasking or context switching, which might be due to a high number of process running simultaneously. So that is for green line. Then for the red line we have a CPU interrupt time. This is about the percentage of time the CPU spend for handling interrupt. The interrupt is a signal that inform the CPU of an event that need immediate attention. So that is for the interrupt time. So we have another one is trigger. CPU interrupt time is too high, so that is a trigger one. So this is alert with triggered if the CPU interrupt time exceed 50%. So that is for the CPU jump. We go to the CPU usage. So CPU usage, we have the red, green, and the triggered one. The red is the CPU privilege time. Like it is represent the percentage of time the CPU spend executing system level code. So if the high value, it indicate that the CPU is spending a lot of time handling system. So that is for the CPU usage. Then we go to the CPU utilization. The CPU utilization is about a key metric about the most. So the most recent here is highest is we have here over 50%. So it's about how much the CPU capacity is being used over a time. So from the performance here we can see it show last mean and average and the max. The max is the highest, so we have the 76%. So that is for CPU. Then we have memory utilization. This graph track the system memory usage over time. So just like the last one, the CPU utilization is to monitor the memory usage over time. So we have last, mean, average, and max. So just the performance. The last one is we have a swap. The swap usage. This swap usage is about the usage of swap space over time. So the green is about the free swap space. This is about the represent the amount of swap space that is currently available, while the red one is about the total amount of swap space allocate on the system. So from this, we have a free swap space. We can see the amount of free swap space very slightly indicates some level of swap usage, but not significantly fluctuation. So that is for the performance. Okay, next I will explain about the security. So Zabbix software is have a security part for the network configuration. So we can see here there's alerts here that we can do. So example, we have a action, so they have a trigger action, service, discovery, and we also have media types like there's like a webhook, this is automatically insert. So that we have email HTML, and all of these things we can setting manually. And for example, I already did for this for the security to the type email that I put the SMTP server, and this is the example one, and the email I put Nafisah Raja, this email. Then if anything happen to our device, then it will report the problem and send to this email. So for example, if I want to setting back the email, I will click this email and just put the mandatory part like name and emails here. This is types, and we also have the SMS script and webhook we can choose. So this is the part, and this is our email that we need to correct one so that it will send to us. So this, and there's a lot of email here that we use that we can use in Zabbix. So that the action here we can use like a trigger action here. So this is the example that I do. For example, report problem to the Zabbix administration. So I just click this one, then we can see the condition that I put here. For example, label A, B, and C. So for every level have a different condition. For example, the label A is for the triggered severity is greater than or equal the average. So if a device have a severity is greater than or equal to average, it will trigger the action for the report problem to the administration. Also, for if anything happens like host group equal Windows or a value, so we also can add more. Just like click this add, and we can find anything, the type of condition we want, like a trigger and host. Tag name is here, then we just put the tag, and this operator is how we want to the problem occur. For example, if the problem does not equal or contains or does not contains this the value we want, so we just gonna add it. So After that, we just need to click the update. Then so this is how the report here for the administration part. So I think that's all for the security. Thank you. Okay, next I will conclude for this Zabbix software to monitor the network or devices. So last Zabbix software monitoring system offer numerous benefit for organization. Here are some reasons why Zabbix is widely used. For the first one is for the comprehensive monitoring, real-time data collection and analysis, alerting and notification, customizability, scalability and automation, and it is so open source and cost effective because Zabbix software is actually a free software, and it have a lot of security that we can go further, like offer robust security feature including user authentication, encryption. So then overall Zabbix provide a very friendly to user for the starting user to use to monitor the network, because it is also monitoring solution that help organization maintain high availability and performance of their IT infrastructure. So I think that is all for us. Thank you for listening.